Yo, what is going on, guys? Adam from 6Flow Automations, and in this video we're going to be going over how to build AI voice agents with Retell AI. And the point of this video is to help out the people who aren't very experienced with either Retell AI or maybe N8N, just newer builders that want to get better at building, or people who have never even touched the platform at all and just want to get an introduction to Retell AI. This video is for you, because what we're going to be covering in this video is we're going to start off with how to build inbound agents. An inbound agent is essentially an agent that can answer calls and then talk with whoever and talk with the caller. So an example of this would be an AI receptionist that can answer calls, answer questions about the business, and to even book appointments directly into your calendar. And that's exactly what we're going to be building in the first part of this video, an AI receptionist. Once we get that down, we're going to be moving towards outbound caller. So how to build an outbound calling agent. An example of this would be a cold calling agent, one that pulls from a list of numbers from a Google Sheet and then makes calls to each of those numbers in order, saying whatever you want it to say. And that's also exactly what we're going to be building in the second part of this video, how to be building an outbound cold calling agent. And throughout the video, I'm just going to be giving you guys value here and there, the essential tools for Retell AI. I'm not going to be going over every single thing in Retell AI. I'm only going to be going over the things that are essential for you to get started and start building functional voice agents. A quick notice, the tools you are going to need to get through this video is, of course, Retell AI. We're going to be using N8N, Cal.com, and Google Sheets. So really a comprehensive tutorial for beginners on how to make the most out of Retell AI. So if that sounds good, be sure to like the video, comment on the video. I'm going to respond to all of your comments. Do not forget to subscribe, and let's get right on into the video. All right, let's get on into building our inbound agent, our AI receptionist that can book appointments right into your calendar. Once you learn how to do this, you're going to be really no longer a beginner in Retell AI, because this is a very functional agent that we're going to be building. So functional that you can even offer it to businesses who are looking for an AI receptionist. But anyways, let's get on into building. So the first thing that we need to do here is go to Cal.com, and we use Cal.com to integrate with Retell AI for the calendar bookings and things like that. Cal.com makes it very simple because it's natively integrated into Retell AI. So anyways, we're in Cal.com. Go ahead and sign into Cal.com. Go to your event types, and we're going to create a new event type up here. Let's title it YouTube appointment, okay? YouTube appointment. Description, no need, and this is going to be a half an hour meeting, whatever it is, right? Because whatever the appointment you're booking is. Go ahead, press continue, and now we're actually going to go to advanced settings, which is right here. As you can see, we're going to go to advanced settings, and you're going to connect to your calendar. It appears as though my calendar is already connected to this cal.com event. But if yours is not, go ahead and connect your calendar up here. So let's just use, I would suggest using Google Calendar to start off. It's just the simplest way to do it, but there's other calendars down there such as Outlook. So anyways, once you have that, that is actually all we need to do right now in cal.com. We're going to be coming back to it later, so leave the tab open. But once you have that, once you connected your calendar to the event type in the advanced settings, we can go over to Retell AI. All right, we are in Retell AI, and we want to build our AI receptionist. So to do that, the first thing we're going to do is go up to this top right corner and click Create an Agent, and then create a voice agent. Now you're going to see a bunch of stuff going on here. I'm going to quickly explain it. So as you can see, there are 4 agent types. There is a multi-prompt agent, a conversation flow agent, single prompt, and custom LLM. To get started, you only need to learn how to use a single prompt agent. Conversation flow agents are a little bit more complex, and really for more complex phone conversations. But for the sake of a simple AI receptionist, a single prompt agent will do. And as you can see, there's templates below. I don't usually touch these, but you can go ahead and play around with the templates if that's what you want to do. But anyways, let's go ahead and create a single prompt agent. Okay, so now we are in this agent dashboard in Retell AI. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but we're only going to be using some of it. We're not going to be using everything here. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is this big universal prompt box right here. This is the universal prompt that essentially tells the voice agent what you do. What do you say? When do you say it? How do you say it? And everything this agent needs to know when you're training this AI receptionist, you tell it through this universal prompt right here. So this is, of course, a very important thing to get right. So I have already gone ahead and made an inbound agent universal prompt. For this case, it is going to be a restaurant receptionist. Sorry, guys, I'm just typing in the name. So the goal of this agent is to take calls and book reservations. It is not that good. It's not a functional agent, but it has all the functions in there. So whatever you want your inbound agent to do, you can take what I said, understand how you prompt these things, and then prompt it yourself, telling it what you want to do. But there's a few key things that we need to go through that ensure to ensure that voice agent functions properly. So the first thing, so as you can see, I'm not going to go through, you can go through it on your own time. I'm going to make this available to you in the description. This is just the conversation flow on what you want the voice agent to say. But as you can see here, we have a place where it says end the call. So essentially with Retell AI, it doesn't know when to actually hang up the phone. You have to tell it when to hang up the phone. And even if it's like, if the conversation is like, all right, have a good day, it's just going to be like, have a good day. And it's going to sit there. You have to tell it to end the call or it won't end the call. So that's a key detail. So if the caller says end the call, end the call. And now we have to give it the function to end the call. So over here, we're going to go ahead and click functions right here, click add, click end call, and click save, and boom. This end call function corresponds with this end the call. It's human language over here and coding language over here. It understands. All you need to say is end the call, and we'll use the end call function to do that. Okay. Now there's a couple other settings here. I'm not going to get into everything because it would take a long time. I only want to set you guys up with the absolute essentials that you need. That being said, a knowledge base would be applicable to an agent like this. I'm not going to be doing it for this video, but what a knowledge base is, for this case, for an inbound restaurant receptionist, you would feed a document with all the restaurant's information as a knowledge base into this agent. So on that document, it would say the hours of the restaurant, the name of the restaurant, what they serve, questions, everything a human receptionist would need to know. We just feed it into the knowledge base. So this AI receptionist becomes intelligent and knowledgeable about the business, and that'll allow this agent to actually answer business specific questions if a user were to call and ask about the restaurant, such as when you guys open. The knowledge base equips it with the knowledge it needs to answer those questions properly. Now there's a couple of other stuff, speech settings. You can play around with the speech settings, post-call analysis. We have a video on this channel. Noah made a video on post-call analysis. But that's essentially it. Everything else is more advanced, and you don't need it for the essentials of building a voice agent. All right, so there's two more critical functions we need to implement into our AI voice agent, and those functions ensure that our voice agent is able to, one, check availability in the calendar, right? So if someone wants to book a reservation for 6, it's going to see if there's already a reservation that was made at 6 o'clock to ensure that it doesn't double book on the calendar. So that is the check availability cal function. We're going to be adding this up there, adding it from up there in just a second. So that is the check availability cal function. And the next function that we're going to be using is the book appointments cal function. So that function is essentially allowing Retell to go ahead and book the appointment into your calendar, and it is the same calendar that you added in cal.com earlier, okay? So it is the same calendar that you added in cal.com into that event type. That is where this reservation is going to be booked. So let's go ahead and add those functions. If you have these lines about the tools there in the universal prompt, you should be good to simply add the function. So the first one is going to be the check calendar availability function. As you can see, we need to throw in an API key, and we need to throw in an event type ID. So we're going to be doing that right now. I'm just gonna correct the time zone real quick. So let's go ahead and add the API key from cal.com and the event type ID from cal.com in order to actually connect that calendar to this Retell. So let's go back into cal.com. All right, we're gonna go into settings. So I need to move the screen here so you can see. We're gonna be going to settings at this bottom left corner of cal.com. I'm gonna go over to API keys under this developer section right here. Let's go ahead and add a new API key. Call this Retell tutorial or whatever you want to call it. Press save. The API key is going to come up right here. I'm going to have it blurred on my screen, but it's going to be right here. Copy that. Go back into Retell AI and then simply paste it where it says API key cal.com in this check calendar availability function. The next thing we need is to enter in the event type ID. So to do that, we're going to go back once again into cal.com. Let me close that. And to find the event type ID, you want to go up into the URL of excuse me, the URL of your browser right here, because as you'll see, when you go back into that event type you made, so go to back to cal.com, event types, and click the event type that you just made, you're going to see 7 digits. It's usually 6 or 7 digits. 7, I can't count. How many is that? Holy crap. 7 digits. I guess I'm not feeling it today. Anyway, so there's going to be a 7-digit number in your URL. That is your event type ID. So you're going to see a number between the slash and the question mark. That is your event type ID. Go ahead and copy that. Go back into Retell AI, paste it into the event ID section, and click save. You just added the check calendar availability function in Retell AI. We literally just need to do the exact same thing for the book on the calendar in cal.com function right here. So do it. You're going to have to add an API key and event type ID. So I'm going to go ahead, copy the API key that I just had because it's the same API key and it's going to be the same event ID as well. So I'm going to copy that from the previous function that we just made. Go to the book on the calendar function. Oops. Paste in the API key, and then get that same event type ID from cal.com, paste it in. I'm going to change the time zone for consistency. Press save, and there you go. So now our voice agent is fully set up and can function properly. So the last thing that we need to do is assign a phone number to this agent. So the way Retell AI works, it can't accept a call, nor can it make a call if we don't assign a phone number to the agent. So to buy a phone number, they're super cheap. They're only a couple bucks. You can buy a phone number in Retell, or you can buy a phone number using SIP trunking. We have a video on our channel made by Noah who walks you through how to do that. But I'm going to show you real quick how to buy a phone number. So go back into Retell AI. There we go. Go back into Retell AI, and we're going to go, let me just adjust my screen here. Go to phone numbers right here. You're going to see a bunch of phone numbers here. There's going to be a plus sign here. Add a phone number, press buy a new number, find a number, press save. It is honestly super simple. One thing it might prompt you to do is to add your credit card details or something like that before you buy a phone number. So you can just do that in settings, play around with it. But yeah, that's how you buy a phone number. So once you have a phone number, go back into that agent that we just made. All right, so once you acquire that phone number from Retell AI, you're going to be able to publish that voice agent to that phone number. So we just want to go to publish here on the top right corner. Click inbound number because this is an inbound agent, and select the phone number that you just bought, just like that. Click publish, and now we have assigned this complete and functional voice agent to that phone number such that when you call that phone number, this voice agent is going to pick up. So let's quickly test it out now and see if everything's working properly. All right, so I'm just going ahead and calling this number right now.
Hi, this is Grace from Six Flow Bar and Grill. How can I help you?
Hey there, Grace. I'd like to book a reservation.
Fantastic. Let's get you booked. What's your full name?
Adam Jordan.
Thank you, Adam. How many people will be in your party?
2 people.
Great. And what date and time would you like to book?
Can we do September 23rd at 11 a.m.?
Let me quickly check if we have a table available for you at that time. We have a table available at 11 a.m. on September 23rd. I'll reserve that for you now. Could you please provide your email address to complete the reservation?
Sure, it's adamjordan@gmail.com.
Thank you. I'll get your reservation confirmed for September 23rd at 11 a.m. Perfect. Your reservation is confirmed. We look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, take care. So as you can see, it actually checked the calendar to see if there was any conflicts, and then once it realized that there was no conflicts and it wouldn't double book, there was a spot open, it went ahead and booked that appointment directly into my calendar, acting as a very functional AI receptionist. Alright guys, now that we learned how to build an inbound agent, it is time to learn how to build an outbound agent. An agent that could go through a list of phone numbers and call them one by one, saying whatever you want it to say, just like a cold caller. So that's what we're going to be building right now, and the tools we need for this one is Google Sheets, Retell AI, and N8N. So the first thing we're going to do is set up this Google Sheet. So essentially in this Google Sheet, all we have is a list of names, and then phone numbers that we're going to call. So what you can do if you were to make an AI cold caller is make the list of names of business owners that you want to call, and then the phone numbers associated with them, and then it makes the call to them one by one. A quick disclaimer, AI cold calling is actually illegal in some countries, so just make sure. Just know your stuff before starting off with this thing. But if this is what you want to build, this is what you want to build. All right, now that you have your list set up with your names and phone numbers that you want to call, we can go into Retell AI and create our outbound agent. So we're going to go, once again, create an agent at the top right corner, voice agent, and single prompt agent once again. Click create, and we are back into the single prompt agent dashboard. And once again, I'm going to provide you guys with the universal prompt that you can use in the description. So this is just, what is this? A universal prompt. And I prepared it so it's like an AI cold caller. I've never used this prompt before, so I don't know how well it's going to perform, but it'll definitely give you the concept on how to prompt, how to do things, and we'll test it out at the end to see how good it works. But anyways, the steps to complete this voice agent in Retell AI is actually the same thing as what we did in the inbound agent that we just made. So we're going to go to functions. I always just like to do the end call function, to be honest, because we need the agent to end the call when it's necessary, because you pay per minute on Retell AI. So once you do that, let's just go ahead and publish the number. Publish it to the phone number you got. So instead of inbound number, it's going to be outbound, and you can select the phone number that you just bought. Go ahead and click publish, and now this voice agent is absolutely set. And the next step is to go into N8N, which essentially allows this voice agent to pull from the Google Sheet that we made earlier and make the calls to the numbers on this Google Sheet. That is all we need N8N for. So let's go ahead and open a new workflow in N8N and get started. All right, we're in N8N, and the first node that we're going to add here is a manual trigger. So it's literally the first one that shows up here. Trigger manually. I'm going to move my face here. I'll leave it there, actually. So, yeah, the first node that we're going to add is trigger manually. And then we're going to add that Google Sheet that we need our Retell AI voice agent to pull from. So we're going to go to Google Sheet. We're going to click Get Rows in a Sheet right here. And all we need to do is connect our Google Sheet into this module. So to do that, it's Get Rows. Everything's the same. We just choose the document. Could not load list. It appears that I need to connect my Google Sheets. Let me sign in real quick. So this is what you guys are probably going to do as well. Just click continue, select all. Yeah, I'll leave this in the video just in case this provides value to you guys. Connection successful. The window will close. All right, there we go. It's closed. Now is our sheets there? All right, perfect. Now we can connect our Google Sheet to this note. Sorry about the delay, guys, if you didn't need that. But anyways, now we're going to go ahead and click the tab in the sheet that we added those numbers to, and then that's all we need to do. I'm just going to quickly execute the step to ensure everything's there. Everything's there. Perfect. Everything's working well. So now the next step is to connect this Google Sheet to Retell AI, and we do that through this HTTP request node. And I would suggest paying very close attention to this step because there's a lot of minor details here, and a small error will screw up the whole thing. So please pay attention to ensure everything is correct. The first thing we are going to do is change this method up here in this node to post, from get to post. And we are going to paste in this URL. I'm going to provide this to you guys in the description. It's going to be the same thing for you guys, so just paste that in right there under URL. Authentication is going to be none. And then when we see here it says send headers, go ahead and toggle that on. Now what we're going to do where it says name is type in authorization, just like that. And then in the value section, in the value field right below that, we're going to type bearer, B-E-A-R-E-R, space, and then we paste in our API key from Retell AI. So to do that, we're going to go into Retell AI. Let's go back here, and we need an API key. So that should be in settings, API keys. Let's go ahead and add key, add an API key. Let's name it YouTube Outbound. Click create. Where's that bad boy? Right here at the top. Click copy, just like that. Go back into N8N, paste in that API key right next to where it says bearer. So bearer space, paste in the API key, and you're good for that step. All right, so you just added your API key to this HTTP request. The next thing we need to do is add a parameter. So right underneath here, press add a parameter. And where it says name, you want to type in this content dash type. No spaces in between. Content dash type. Then where it says value, you just want to type in this application slash JSON, just like that. That's it. Once you do that, we can move on to the next step where we need to toggle on this send body option right here. So we toggle on send body, and now we see there's body parameters that we need to fill out. So to fill that out, the first thing we are going to do, where it says specify body right here, you want to change this from using fields below to using JSON. Then what we do is we can add this code right here. I'm going to make this available to you guys in the description. So I'm just going to paste it in right here. You guys are going to have access to this. Let me just make it full screen. Perfect. All right, so there's a few things going on here. We're gonna walk through it one by one. So the first thing, where it says from number, that is simply the phone number that you bought in Retell AI. That's it. So let me just type that in for myself. I have to make this private for you guys, but you just want to type in the number and make sure you say plus at the beginning. Plus. That's important for Retell to recognize it. And then you also want to add the area code. So if you have a 10-digit phone number, it should be 11 digits with a plus, because my area code is +1 for Canada. And then it's the phone number that we just bought. The next thing we are going to do, it's already pre-done for you guys if you executed the previous Google Sheets node, is the phone numbers that we're going to call. So this is mapped to the Google Sheet here with all these phone numbers. This variable phone number is simply this variable right here. We're going to call those phone numbers, right? The list in the Google Sheet. Great. Call type, phone call. We don't need to touch it. Retell dynamic variables. So basically, Retell dynamic variables allow your voice agent, your outbound caller, to have a slightly different call for every call. So for example, we don't want, when we're calling Adam here, me, you don't want to be like, you don't want to say hi Adam for me and then also say hi Adam for Jordan. You want to say hi Jordan, then you want to say hi Mark, and then you want to say hi Sanjay. You don't want to say the same thing every single call. So that's why we have dynamic variables to change it every single time. So for dynamic variables name, we simply map the name from the Google Sheet. This is already pre-done in the code. Finally, enter your agent ID. So we're going to get rid of this and type in our agent ID. So to find our agent ID, all we're going to do is go back into Retell AI. Let's go back to that agent that we just made, which should have been, where is it? It should be right here. I'm going to rename it to YouTube Outbound real quick. And we're going to get this agent ID. So it's going to be at the top left here. Once you go on into that agent in Retell AI, click at the top left here, copy for your agent ID, go back into N8N, paste it right there. Okay? go ahead and get out of there because it should be complete for now. All right, as you can see, we have our complete N8N workflow with the configured HTTP node right here. Yours should look something like this. Now, I have to blur out a couple variables here and there for confidentiality reasons, but I'll leave it visible enough so you can see if you kind of have the same thing, which you should in order for this to work. So once you have this, you connected everything else as instructed, you can go ahead and press execute workflow. And as you can see, I'm going to get a call on my phone. So I'm getting a call on my phone. Let's go ahead and listen to this outbound receptionist. Hello.
Hi, Adam. I'm calling from Six Flow Automations. We help businesses never miss another call by setting up AI receptionists that work 24/7. Do you currently have a receptionist answer calls for your business?
I do actually.
That's great. Does it work 24/7 and cost under $1,000 per month?
No, it does not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's why you should go with Six Flow Automations.
Right, so it did exactly what I told it to do. But of course, in Retell AI, you have all this freedom, right? You have the universal prompt to play around with and get it to say whatever you want it to say. It takes some time to do, but prompt it how you want it. You can obviously get ChatGPT to meta prompt it. Tell ChatGPT what you want the agent to do. It'll produce a solid prompt that you can paste right into Retell AI. But there you have it. You're no longer a beginner with Retell AI and building AI voice agents. And real quick, if you want to learn how to make money using these AI voice agents, then check out the link in the description below. Noah, my business partner, and I dropped Voice Agent Business Academy. It's a school community where we essentially reveal the systems and processes that we use to get our first clients in 42 days. So if that sounds good, check in the link in the description below. Otherwise, please like the video, subscribe, comment. I'm going to respond to all of your comments, and take care. Have a good one.